standing on the corner, before you or behind you, never mind you, doesn't matter. Up in my own affair, we don't care, it's like air, wound around an invisible cloud, like a shroud. I wanna get out, standing on the corner, before you or behind you, never mind you, doesn't matter. Feeling so transparent, I yearn to shed this skin, but there's nothing to get out of. If there's nothing I'm in, no, standing on the corner, before you or behind you, never mind you, doesn't matter. Take shape, come take and see myself, and see myself, standing on the corner, see myself, before you or behind you, see myself, never mind you, see myself, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, doesn't matter at all. Je traîne coin de l'eau, quoi. Standing on the corner. That is an old one. I'm wondering when I wrote that. I'm trying to remember. So I'm using this guitar today because I have a performance this evening. Oh yes, I do. So this is kind of a funny story. But I went to a gal I just met, invited me to a collective art exhibition down in the Marais, in sort of a real nice space. It's a modern space. It was on 2 floors. The upstairs was basically a hallway with 2 staircases on either end, and the downstairs had 3 rooms. And how many artists were participating, I don't know, but there was also some live painting going on. I'm going to put that up on my gram of instas at electricpaul, all one word, English. You can check that out. Met a whole bunch of people, got to talk to a bunch of people, met some really, really good, there was some really good quality stuff there, which is refreshing, because sometimes in these, there was a lot of like student level sort of things too, but it was a good time. Anyway, long and short, so I'm outside, I'm talking with this poet guy whose name escapes me at the moment, right now. His name is Sebastian. And another one named Baptiste. He's a polyvalent. What's his, I wish I could remember his name if I have his card. It might be sitting right here. Oh yeah, there it is. So check out his stuff if you can. He's called Baptiste Marcon. So BAPTISTEMARCON.com. But check him out. He's doing all sorts of stuff. Sort of âme sœur, that's a soul sister. And so my friend Wawa, who invited me, I wanted to say goodbye, but I couldn't find her, so I just started walking home, talking to my parents. They're trying to get a print organized over on the other side of the world, so I was helping them with that. And then I went to get a bike, and I used the municipal bikes here. They're called Vélib. They're like the public ones, but these are run by the city, so they have designated bike racks, electronic bike racks, and you put the bike in there, and you put your card that you have it's like a magnetized card, and you put it down on the thing, and it releases it, and you can use it for a specified amount of time. So anyway, it's a pretty good system. I'm pleased with it. Sometimes it has some hiccups. So I went there and I couldn't get any bikes out. And usually when the whole bike rack is full of bikes, that means that the entire bike rack is locked for whatever reason to recharge for the lights and the electric bikes to just recharge them. So I didn't think much of it, and I just kept walking back towards L'Atelier, and I came across this. So that kind of sucks that I have to walk all these kilometers back home, but I came across a book exchange outside of a church, and I found all these sweet art books. Check these out. They're all like this one. This is in French, but I like the page layout, the typographic grid here, so I'm going to study that. I haven't had a chance to look through many of these books. Here's a couple in Italian. This looks pretty interesting. Here's one, Art International, and it has a feature on, there's a lot of text in the back, but, well, actually, oh yeah, some bacon right here. There we go, very nice. That's always good for inspiration. What's this? Foundation Jean Miro, a lot of Miro in there. Also, as well, some Picassos coming up. Well, where is it? You know what I mean. I think I saw. I think it was. I thought maybe it's a different book that I saw the Picasso stuff in here, the Pablo stuff. Anyway, okay. So then there's this one, which is Musée de Pergame et Bode. So Pergamon and what is Bode? Bodrum, perhaps? Turkey? So this is interesting. I like these old ancient archaeological artifacts. Good fun. That looks Egyptian, but I think it's looks like cuneiform, so it's going to be Sumerian. And I don't see the legend. And Cubism from A to Z. Now this has got to have some Picasso in here. There's some, what is that, Cézanne, Chagall? So that's fun. And then this one right here, which is Aus Privaten Sammlungen Beta. So this has some nice stuff. There's some Matisse in here. So I came across this great fortune, but simultaneously I got a texto from the bike that I was using saying, hey, we're just letting you know that you've been riding around for more than 2 hours now. I'm like, what? Because I'd parked it an hour and a half earlier. And you don't want to get charged for that. So I was like, God darn it. And I walked all the way back to where I'd parked the bike. I remembered exactly where it was. I even remembered which bike it was. Because I always, whenever I get one of the bikes, I try to get one of the later ones, one with a higher serial number, because that means that they're more functional than the first in the series. They get pretty beat up, as you can imagine. And so I went in there, and it was locked in and all that stuff, and I was taking pictures. I was getting really nervous. I'm like, God, I really don't need to get some penalties from this bike stuff, and I really need to get access to it, because this evening I have a concert at Madame Simone. I'll talk about that in a second. But so I went and checked it out, make sure that it was in there. Wherein bike. Hey, Wherein bike. Salut les gars, comment ça va vous? Merci d'être venu, hein? And je parle de le vélo actuellement, en fait, le Vélib. Vous êtes fan de Vélib? And I parked it in there, but then I was taking photos just to get evidence to make my case, and then there's a little troubleshooting guide because the customer service was offline because it was in the evening. And I went through, and it has a multiple choice, what the problems are. And it says the station is malfunctioning. And so I walked over to the console, the main console for the electronic bike rack, and the back panel was open and the insides were ripped out. And I went around to the other side. The screen is all black, of course. So I'm like, oh, okay, this makes sense. Well, I can rest a little easier this time, because they're no doubt going to know that the station itself was damaged, vandalized. And I walked all the way back home. And so if I hadn't walked back home, I wouldn't have found these books. And as I was walking back home, I passed this little bar, and I heard this guitar music, and I peered in the window, and there were these two kids jamming out, sort of funky, sort of soul-y stuff. And there's a stand-up piano right there, and there was a guy outside. I said, "Hey, do you work here?" He's like, "No, no, no." I said, "Oh, what's this?" And what, do you want to play or something? And so I walked in, I listened to the guys. They were really into their thing. They were, and I went and talked to Florian, the barman, Florian, right? And he said to me in English that if you want to play, you can talk to the manager. She doesn't speak English, but I said, "Well, what's her name?" Ketty. I said, and he pointed to this woman, so I went over. I said, "Ketty," and she's like, "No, I'm Oksana. Ketty's not here." Okay, well, I'm wondering if I can play here, and she said, anyway, the conversation. So, because of the fact that I was locked out of my bikes and under duress, thinking I might incur a sizable fee, I found a load of art books and booked a gig for this evening. Donc, si vous êtes à Paris, je joue ce soir à partir de 19h chez Madame Simone. It's named after, that singer, Simone. You know who I'm talking about. And it's at 15 rue Saint-Sébastien, dans le 11e. C'est une petite bar cocktail, très sympa. Et je vais jouer quelques chansons pour le public ce soir. Et participation au chapeau, s'il vous plaît. Merci beaucoup. What you mean we're only kissing out on a hilltop in the sands? What you mean, well, don't you listen? Then maybe you'll understand. That's okay if that's the way you feel. It's your prerogative to do exactly what you will. Now I'm left alone spinning and twisting the world around. I hope someday to see you again. What you mean your grasp is slipping? You've got fate clutched in her hands. What do you mean faint apparition? Your memory is in my mind. That's okay if that's the way you feel. It's your prerogative to do exactly what you will. Down after long spin, twisting the world and wind. I hope someday to see you again. Solo. That's okay, if that's the way you feel. It's your prerogative to do exactly what you will. I'm left alone to steal, twisting the world and wind. I hope someday to see you, 'cause that's okay, if that's the way you feel. It's your prerogative to do exactly what you will. Now I'm left alone to steal, twisting the world and wind. I hope someday to see you again. Merci et au revoir. À ce soir.